We've only got David for this segment and the next, but I wanted to get him on because I did see his report on the free speech attack machine of the Rothschilds, and that really is who's financing it. I've done the research. And then you say, please don't lie about me. Please don't attack me. It's like, oh, you must be racist. And again, this has all been laid out. But these groups have gone too far because now if you don't want government-run health care and death panels, they say, oh, you don't like black people. I mean, it just doesn't work anymore. And I want to get back into that, David, in the time we have with you, because we were having an interesting discussion during the break about Lou Dobbs and other issues that I was aware of. And then now Ventura's show, having some of the episodes pressured off air, and that's Homeland Security and ADL and others. I can tell folks, but I've been asked not to get into all the details. The problem is, once you're in people's confidence, you have to agree as a journalist to not get into, all the areas if they ask you not to, and that's their decision. But when you were talking about world leaders being into the occult and Satanism, it doesn't end with Ronald Reagan's wife being into astrology and all decisions being made on that. That's kind of the doorstep. Look at mainstream news with the former British Prime Minister Tony Blair being possessed every morning by a, quote, spirit and flopping around the ground and going to druidic sites and doing rituals. His wife being called a witch, is a witch. The head of the Church of England, now a druid priest. We have Francois Mitterrand, who built the 666-piece pyramid and admitted Luciferian. I mean, this stuff is not hidden.
Well, no, but also, we've got to be careful that, knowledge is knowledge. Knowledge and awareness is not good or bad. It just is. It's the use of it. And therefore, astrology is a science. I mean, we won't do it now. I'll probably never do it on this show, but I could talk for a long time about astrology and how it works and why it is. It's how you use things. And it's how you use this knowledge. And they use it in a very, very negative way. They understand that, the people on the inside, how the psyche works, what the human body is, what the basic nature of this reality is, and therefore they use that knowledge to manipulate the people and the minds of the people and the perceptions of the people, even an individual target, for some particular event and horror, or the people en masse. And they do it but by having that knowledge and keeping that knowledge systematically from the public arena, where the people can have some access of understanding of themselves, their reality, and how it's being manipulated. And therefore, not only is it dangerous from these people's point of view to put out information about the banking scam and the financial scam and the global warming scam and all these other things that absolutely need to get out there, they are terrified of the nature of reality coming out as well. And so they target people like me, not just for putting the conspiracy stuff out, which I do, of course, like you all the time, but the other stuff. And it's information. What they've created is an information bubble to keep the people in ignorance of so much, including the nature of their own self. And anyone who is threatening to burst that bubble, which more and more people are now, means they have to get more and more desperate, and that's what we're seeing, and more ludicrous in the way they try to discredit, stop, block those people who are threatening the bubble.
Well, look at how the ADL, Southern Poverty Law style folks, going after Lou Dobbs, who's a great guy. Look, I mean, this is not civil rights or human rights. I mean, these groups really are at the forefront of trying to shut down free speech. They want the fairness doctrine again, and people need to stand up and say no.
Exactly. What we need to do is realize, because it's not difficult, it's blatantly in our face, that these people have no interest in human rights. They have an interest in destroying them. They have no interest in freedom of expression or freedom of any kind. They have an interest in destroying it, because the masters that they serve want to destroy it. That's the reason that they're doing all this stuff. So if they are targeting people, it means that the people must be saying something right.
All right, stay there, David. 5 more minutes with you. We got a 60-second break. Then it's your phone call. Stay with us. It's our final segment with David Icke. We're only having him on for roughly a half hour. Your calls directly, I promise, call after call, coming up in the next segment. But David was getting into censorship, and it is the Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL, other groups that, claim, they're fighting the Ku Klux Klan. And then next they're saying, by the way, you shouldn't criticize healthcare. You're a racist if you do. Or David Icke talks about expanding your consciousness. That's extreme right-wingism. I mean, this is crazy. But they know exactly what they're doing, and they're now moving to restrict free speech, to bring in the fairness doctrine, and they are losing a lot of credibility, and the globalists more and more are scared. And that was the point I wanted to get into with you, Dave. We were talking during the last segment, and you agree with my view that there is an explosive awakening happening right now, and that's why they're trying to move to start curtailing the web taxes, web IDs, restrictions on speech all over the world. The globalists are in trouble.
Look, when a human rights organization allegedly tells you that they've got to take your freedoms and freedom of speech away, well, actually, something's clearly blatantly wrong. They're a bunch of liars. They're a bunch of hypocrites. And we've got the Anti-Defamation League that claims to be a human rights organization standing up for people's rights and all the rest of it. Back in the 90s, it was exposed for having people working for it that were infiltrating what we would call today progressive groups, infiltrating Arab Americans, infiltrating Native Americans, and infiltrating black Americans.
Police stations and stealing files.
Passing information to the apartheid regime in South Africa about them and Mossad. This is the real Anti-Defamation League. This is the real Poverty Law Center. Absolute hypocrites. Garbage.
I interrupted you to throw in that the ADL was actually convicted in California, breaking into police departments, having spies, getting police files on politicians.
Even a Mossad front, Alex. It's a Mossad front in America, just like AIPAC is, and just like the Simon Wiesenthal Center is. It is a Rothschild Zionist front. And it's amazing to me that people like Obama and all these moralizing people in the media and these moralizing politicians, these moralizing pseudo-human rights people like Mark Potok, they can't get a microphone quick enough when something like this happens, an horrific event like this. But they are quite okay with mass murder by America and Britain, governments and military, of people in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, year after year after year.
ADL and others were passing stuff through Israel to the apartheid regime that Israel just loved. You know, that's the kind of stuff we're not supposed to talk about. Like when Jimmy Carter said that it's apartheid over there in the Middle East, everybody got so mad, but Israel worked with the apartheid regime, including on race-specific bioweapons.
Yeah, Israel is an apartheid regime every bit as much as South Africa was, and every bit as much as America was in the time of the version of apartheid. And it's not only an apartheid state in Israel regarding Israelis and the Palestinians. It's an apartheid regime, even between different levels of Israelis and Jewish people. The way they treat black Jews from Ethiopia in Israel is little better than vermin.
David Icke, amazing, amazing. We're out of time. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.